Imagine going back to school without teachers, tests, grades, or papers. Imagine the world without anyone. The sea without water, the ground without sand, and most importantly, you. Imagine Cosmo without you. Thanks for being there.
Actually, let's roll that back. Now imagine you without Cosmo. More than just a radio station, Cosmo FM was the best thing to grace Southeast Nigeria since Okpa, Abacha, and palm wine. It wasn't merely a broadcaster, it was a cultural phenomenon, transforming Coal City and the entire East into an entertainment powerhouse. From delivering the freshest music, entertainment scoop, both local and foreign, to catalyzing the emergence of voices like Brackett, Jay Martins, and Nigaro, this station was a trailblazer. The energy was a vibe and a testament to the exuberance of its young presenters and DJs. But then came the EFCC with allegations of misappropriation of public funds and the impending demise of this once thriving station. So, how did a radio station transition from being a pop culture cornerstone to vanishing into thin air? Welcome to the story of Cosmo FM, the rise and fall of one station, too much for one nation. Before we start, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the next important story. As you know, important stories live here on Big Mack TV. In the late 90s, following the global spectacle of the feud between US hip-hop stars Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G. and their consequent deaths, there was an escalating demand for Western music, hip-hop, R&B, and pop. Unfortunately, the southeast of Nigeria lacked the independent broadcasting houses present in Lagos, leaving a void in specialized music and entertainment content. Minaj Radio in Obosi, Anambra State existed, but its reach and range couldn't cater adequately to the youth's craving. In Enugu, government-owned stations were all it could get, while the regional network of Radio Nigeria, Coal City FM, barely took a break from the tedious talk-based network programming. Its state counterpart, Enugu State Broadcasting Service, ESBS, was the same. Except, to be fair to ESBS, you could sometimes get abridged versions of contemporary music and entertainment programming, a bit during off-peak periods and weekends. The same was true for government-owned stations in neighboring Abia, Ebonyi, and Imo states. Enter Dr. Chimaroke Nnamani, the first executive governor of Enugu since the return of democracy, who was about to end all that misery for the millennia. As someone in control of state funds and apparatus, he had the capability to readily allocate the necessary resources and establish connections for such a capital-intensive project. And who better to be tasked with assembling requisite infrastructure and talent than the late legendary broadcaster and media executive Jika Ato. With his expertise and Chimaroke's money, Cosmo FM became a reality in May 2003, and it was the beginning of a new dawn.
93.5
Cosmo FM embarked on its sonic journey at 93.5 megahertz on the FM band, later grooving its way into 105.5 FM. My initial reaction: a radio station playing music 24/7? Unprecedented. A groundbreaking move for the Eastern audience. The first all-music channel and a 24-hour broadcasting pioneer. Do they ever sleep? No. Cosmo FM was that insomniac maestro. Crucially, it was the first dedicated channel catering to the vibrant demographic of 14 to 30 years. Meet Lydia, Shakespeare's sister, kickstarting your day with Hakuna Matata, a breakfast magazine show occasionally featuring interviews with VIPs and government officials. Mid-mornings swayed to the DJ symphony of FXT or DJ Diddy. Afternoons were under Spaceman's cruise control. More music, less talk. Drive Time unleashed another DJ extravaganza, chiefly orchestrated by DJ FX2, DJ Jeff is Deaf, and of course DJ Graham Fingers. As the dust settled, X-Man took the reins with the early night shift, and you could lean on Cleopatra, with the love tales into the night. In the mix, Ralph delivered a sports bliss that hit the southeast like a tsunami. Drive Time also added a comedic touch with Ogus Baba. There were also programs like Believe It or Not and We Love Nigerian Music, which was hosted by Temi on Saturdays. Temi would program more than an hour-long spin of Nigerian music on radio. This was when Nigerian music barely got airplay. Cosmo didn't just bring Lagos to Enugu, he teleported New York, California, and London. A one-stop gateway to global music and lifestyle featuring the reigning stars of that era. Eminem, 50 Cent, Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, Two-Face Idibia, Tony Tetula, and many more. Picture this, calling and participating in the radio program in real time with less censorship. Cosmo made that a reality for the Southeast audience. Broadcasting from Enugu, but embraced across the Southeast, Ebonyi, Abia, Imo, Anambra, even stretching its unbranded sound to the boundary cities of Benue, Cross River, Delta, Rivers, and Edo States. The official voice for universities and campuses where you could give shout out to your special one. The programming expanded with overseas syndications. The World Chat Show with PJ Butter, Rick D's and Weekly Top 40, Coca-Cola Mix Show by DJ A1, The African Chart by Brown Sugar, to name but a few. All these were possible because of the youthful vigor of Cosmo's team, which later included seasoned presenters like JD, AkBG, Sydney, Gloria, Juanita, Elvis, Frankie, Jennifer, Snowman, Afsok, and more. Imagine you reside in Lagos, where you have access to the cool FMs, the rhythm FMs of this world, and you are falling in love with their presenters and shows. You love listening to the sound of JJ the Megadon, and your day is incomplete without this feeling. Now, faith guides you back to the east for studies at Unizik or EFCC. Keep in mind that internet penetration is a luxury. Apps are a myth. Making visual connections are only a dream. When you arrive, the first thing you hear in the cab heading inside the campus is lean back, and you are bumping into it, and you realize from the presenter who announces at the top of the song, it is Fat Joe and the Terror Squad with a brand new joint, Lean Back. You copy the frequency and dial it on your Nokia Touch, and it is real. You settle in, try it again in the evening, and it's still on. Wake up at midnight, try it, it is still on. Same the next day. Soon, you'll find out Didier Drogba was still leading the Premier League goal scoring chart, and you didn't have to read it in the papers. Call your folks in Lagos. I think I like this school. You're no longer interested in a direct entry next year to Unilag. This is a perfect tale of how Cosmo FM weaved into lives. And there are different shades to this narrative. For instance, you could pursue a career as a music artist in the East because of an existing radio station broadening your reach. The accents of stars like Mr. Raw, Jay Martins, Bracket, McCoy, Flavor, Illis, Obi-Wan, and somewhat P-Square owes a nod to Cosmo FM's influence. Beyond imagination, Cosmo FM molded the landscape, shaping events hosting, nightlife, and pop culture across the region. They took parties to the people, whether it's the Christmas season, the Valentine's season, or whatever season. Even when there is no season, Cosmo will give you a reason to party. With OAPs engaging with listeners in person, a rarity at that time in that region of the country. Broadcasting transformed from rocket science to vibrant reality. OMG, is this the spaceman I've been listening to on air? Can't believe it is Big Sydney in the flesh. A shift in perspective that ignited young minds' interest in broadcasting careers across the region. They claim all good things must end, but must the end be in such a hurry? Case in point, Cosmo FM disappeared faster than expected. Blame it on the EFCC. The EFCC, not a trendy acronym for a new boy band, but the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. It was established a year before Cosmo FM came to life by the then President Olusegun Obasanjo in response to international pressure on Nigeria's notoriety for corruption and money laundering. Their job? Hunt down businesses whose cash flow took a stroll on the shady side. Of course, businesses owned by high and mighty politicians were like low-hanging fruits, considering how much state resources that they had control over. Enter Chimaroke Nnamani, the man behind Cosmo FM, operating under Senua Communications. EFCC smelled something fishy just as Chimaroke was eyeing his last months in office. The first raid by the commission took place in December 2006, 5 months before the governor's tenure would end. At this time, the governor was still adamant that all resources into the establishment came from a legitimate source and that he didn't meddle in state's funds. But that will mark the beginning of the end of Cosmo because the EFCC never seemed convinced. In May 2007, Chimaroke exited office, but not without a Lagos Federal High Court indictment for a whopping 5.3 billion naira corruption and investment allegation. EFCC gets the green light to snatch everything, including Cosmo FM, RainbowNet Telecoms, Renaissance University Teaching Hospital, you name it. Cosmo FM was still operational after the seizure, although as an ardent listener you could tell something was going wrong internally. The station wasn't the same again. Some of the OAPs started leaving. Chimaroke did put up a fight to save the station, but all his appeals proved futile. The turbulent atmosphere went on for about 2 years, during which the station started experiencing too many breaks in transmission, inconsistent programming, and diminishing public trust. In August 2009, the station was completely sealed by the commission. It vanished, leaving fans hanging. The end of an era, they said. And to ensure the station Too Much for One Nation stays in the radio graveyard forever, in 2015, Chimaroke threw in the towel, surrendering the property after the company pleaded guilty as charged. Farewell, Cosmo FM. Gone, but not forgotten. If you enjoyed the story, please share your thoughts with us. Let us know your memories with this station. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and set notifications for more of our videos in the future. Thank you.